Hi everybody, welcome back to another edition of Collecting Canadian Cavalry and Armour. In this episode, we're going to do something completely different. On June 8th, Janice, my very supportive spouse, and I went to the Oshawa, the Ontario Tank Museum. They have the largest collection of operational tanks and military vehicles in all of North America and the largest tank collection in all of Canada. They have somewhere close to 200 different vehicles. Fantastic museum. It really is. If you like tanks like we like, it's just fantastic. And Janice had never seen a real tank moving before, so she got a chance to see a Leopard driving around, the M4 Sherman, a Panzer III, all kinds of stuff. But you'll see that in the video clips. So the museum part of it, the static displays of the history of the Ontario Regiment, was interesting. They have some good stuff in there, some good older stuff from the 1800s when they were infantry. And then, of course, we show the transition in 36 to when they became tankers. Now, the tie-in with the Essex Regiment tank / Windsor Regiment, the first commanding officer of the Essex Regiment tank, Colonel Masson, ended up taking over command of the Ontario Regiment. He's the guy that brought them. He's the guy that brought them overseas during Second World War. So there's that nice regimental tie-in there, and we like them anyway. Good guys. So anyway, like I said, the trip to the museum was fantastic. If you guys get a chance to go up and see the museum and check out all the tanks and everything, it's well worth the trip. We're very happy that we went. And in October, our reunion with the Royal Canadian Dragoons Battle Group will be there at the museum, so that'll be great. Tanks and seeing a bunch of old guys. I'm really looking forward to it. So let's get right into the video. Here's a few of the models and some of the displays that are in the Ontario Regiment Museum. Definitely well worth coming in to take a look. They've got some great stuff in here. Here's some of the group photos and a really nice addition to somebody's Ontario Regiment collection. Here's some of the medals that are been awarded to Canadians current and past. Very supportive wife in front of the cap badges from the First World War, and over here we have the Second. Here's some of the Second World War uniforms. You can see the fellow sitting down is wearing that tanker's coveralls that we covered in a previous episode. Here's the Afghanistan display within the Ontario Regiment Museum. Very nice. Wore that uniform for a while when we were over there. And some of the other accoutrements. So here we are in the vehicle section of the Ontario Regiment Museum. Yes, I know this is an M60, it's not a Canadian tank, but that's okay. My very supportive wife would allow me to have one, and she said she would. I could keep that in our driveway for 2 years. She did say that. But what we're going to do, guys, is take a look around and take a look at a wonderful collection of tanks. Like I said, they're good to have, but you need deep pockets. Some of the armored vehicles. And here, ladies and gentlemen, we have a future tanker. Keep the core going. Oh, yes, the tanks. Sherman, Chaffee, Centurion, Chieftains. Oh, they got them all here, I tell you. And here we have a Ferret scout car done up with UN markings. Okay, guys, here we have Janice standing behind the M24 Chaffee, US tank. And behind that, we have the M4 A2E8 Sherman. There's very supportive spouse loading up a tank. So here we are with the Leopard 185 and the Leopard C2s. Right next to the Berlin Brigade camouflaged British Chieftain tank. And here's Janice standing beside the Lynx Command and Reconnaissance vehicle used by all the armored recce troops. Here we are with a bit of a beat-up Soviet-built T-72 next to the engineer-based M113, and of course the good old Cougar. Alright guys, so here we are, like I said, at the Oshawa Tank Museum, and a wonderful collection of armor, not all Canadian, but that's alright anyway. And what you can get if you have very deep pockets. And with any luck, I get very supportive wife, so I can have one of these in the driveway for 2 years, at least if I can get one. But I'm sure once she rides in the tank, it'll be a lot longer than that. And here's outside. Here's the old Cougar. Gotta love those Cougars, boy. Next to a T-72.
Yeah, the starter motor has gone bad. Changed the starter.
Lab 3, very similar to the Coyote that my daughter drove while she was serving with the Royal Canadian Dragoons. Now, as you guys can tell by the poor quality of the video, I was the guy that's shooting it because my number one video cameraman wasn't with us on that on this trip. So please forgive the video. Anyway, so as we move from the static displays that were inside the museum to the outside to the bleachers where we watch the tanks move around and do a small reenactment of D-Day. Cool stuff. Watch this. So here's the M4 Sherman, and we'll take a look at the roll paths of all the armored vehicles. Fantastically restored vehicles, guys. These things are great. And here is the M5 Stuart doing the roll pass. And now we have the Sherman tank, the M4 A2E8 Sherman tank. Same model was in the movie Fury with Brad Pitt. And this is the last version of the Sherman tank used by Canadian tankers. To train on and everything else. And then you have some self-propelled artillery. This one is a Priest that was on loan to the Canadian forces during World War II. Panzer III. German half-track. Actually, this one was a Czech-made one. And the Universal Carrier, the old Bren gun carrier. This one, particular one, they tell us was made in Windsor, right here in Windsor, Ontario. Some shot of the dirt there. I'm not as good a cameraman as Zach. And here's a Fox armored car. Very rare vehicle and in beautiful running condition. And there's the M3 Stuart, or excuse me, M5 Stuart again. And here comes the Sherman. This is very nice. We're there for, as I said before, for their D-Day display and tank thing, and it was great because Janice, my very supportive wife, had never seen a real tank move. So this was quite a day for her. And of course, you know I love seeing those tanks. Like I said, guys, if you have really deep pockets, you can start investing and buying tanks to add to your collection. Very nice. Unfortunately, though, my pockets are not that deep.
Armored cars that was built for the Second World War. 4 of these vehicles actually landed with the Canadians on D-Day. Here, the M4 Sherman. We got, okay. Sherman crew, are you ready? Get ready for this. Sherman's crew, fire! So what we're going to do, because we have some, there's no projectile except for you get the realistic sound, the realistic flame that comes out of the barrel. Sherman crew, are you ready to fire? Fire! J. By this point, it has a 50mm main weapon, so a bit larger, a bit higher velocity than that Panzer Commander, are you ready to fire? Panzer, fire when ready.
Ready. He's got some cover by the hill back there. And it fires off. That looks like it could have been a hit. He had him in the sights for quite some time. Is the Stewart going to fire? The Panzer's lined up. If he gets another shell out, there's a good chance he's going to get a second hit. That Stewart has to make an answer. Give it an answer to the first shot. Ladies and gentlemen, you'll see the commander of the Panzer III has got the binoculars open. He's looking down the field. I think he's thinking he's got some good opportunities here. Our Stewart. Uh-oh. The Panzer's on the move. The Stewart's going to have to move here shortly. He's going to be in trouble. That Panzer III is really circling around. If that Panzer III can get his barrel at the back end of the Stewart, that's not going to be good. Okay, the Stewart's got some cover behind the hill now. If he gets his barrel around, it gets a shot off. But as you see back here, everyone in the crowd, you can see Panzer III, and there's another shot from the Panzer. You'll see the Panzer had some really good cover down here in front of the hill. Remember, tanks are ready to be hit if they're open, but if they're behind a hill and all you see is the barrel, there's a good chance you could have a miss. Panzer's coming around again. His barrel's already prepped and already looking out to the side. That Leo's got to get turned around before he gets into trouble. All right, Leo's got a little bit of cover now from that hill. Is he going to fire? Oh, nice shot. Behind the hill and straight on the Panzer. Oh, now the Panzer's moving again. Anybody count the rounds? How many rounds has the Panzer fired?
So I hope you guys enjoyed this episode. Like I said, it's something a little bit different and something I think we're going to incorporate into our collecting Canadian Cavalry and Armour stuff. We're going to visit a few museums, look at some of the stuff in their collections as well. Because unfortunately, I don't have everything yet, but I'm working on it. So, but this time, for the next few, we're going to take the ace cameraman and I'll talk and he can do a proper video shoot, unlike the amateur stuff that you just witnessed. Please forgive me. However, like I said before, at the beginning of this episode, if you get a chance to go and visit the Ontario Regiment Museum, it's well worth the trip. It's well worth going to visit, walking around, seeing the different displays, of course, buy the souvenirs. And the cool thing I found out, they've got a small canteen there set up by 420 Squadron, Air Force, but they're okay anyway. They sell some armored ale beer, and 10 cents out of every can of beer that's sold goes to help support the tank museum. So guys, it's awesome. You have a couple of beverages, watch the tanks. What could be better? So like I said, go visit the museum. It's a wonderful time, fantastic collection. So for any of you guys out there with very deep pockets that want to start collecting, you can get some good look at what a nice tank collection is right there. So I hope you guys enjoyed this, and happy collecting.